me, the big brand theory is really about stepping back from where we've gotten in digital marketing and the digital media space in general. We've come to this sort of head over the past 10 plus years of really quantifying, measuring, putting things into buckets and making sure that we can understand our actions and what the impact is on consumers and really directly measuring it and understanding that. For me, big brand theory is about actually stepping back to some of the basics of marketing. The basic ideas of connecting a brand with a consumer, connecting all of your individual media, whether it is digital media where you have direct response actions or you have those immediate click-throughs and things you can quantify, and coming up with ways to measure it in that more traditional sense of brand where brands have value. That's the most critical component of marketing, and being able to measure that and come up with creative ways in the digital media space so you're not losing that brand perspective. It's really important. The goal is to step back from the idea of click-throughs and measuring the real specific actions and taking a broader perspective of what consumers are doing when they're researching. So some of the things we do at Compete along these lines are looking at the entire process of what consumers are doing when they're researching, when they're not researching, when they're getting ready to research in a particular space. Say for instance in Jeff's world they want to buy a new camera, or maybe they don't even know they need a new camera. Maybe it's even earlier on that. It's understanding what influences somebody in that digital space and frankly, from all spaces for them to take actions within the digital space and understand what then gets them to that level where, hey, I need to buy a camera. And then eventually, hey, I need to buy a Kodak and I need to buy a Kodak PlaySport, right? So that going all the way through that process. And it's a very intertwined process across media. There's TV influences and print and radio and online, and I think at Compete our goal is to take all of that and start to combine it and understand it with the digital media being the sort of centerpiece of a lot of that. We're a competitive web analytics company at our core. I think at a higher level we're about helping brands understand consumers in the digital space and how it connects to the rest of the media space. So understanding what consumers are doing online and how that relates to the influences they're receiving from offline and everything else in their lives. Our products range from very, very customizable solutions within a specific industry, helping a telecom client understand their competitors' flow on their website and the conversion funnel process and how good they're doing relative to everybody else in their space, to broad-based tools and solutions where you can understand media planning and trying to understand where should I be advertising to reach those people to stimulate those folks that maybe don't know they need to buy a camera yet, right? So getting that spark created and where do you go and reach those. The great example from when Jeff spoke is going to reach those the chief memory officers, the young moms. Where do you find those young moms? We have some tools that allow you to come up with media plans to find those young moms and understand where to reach them in highly targeted ways. In addition to just the very specific tactical stuff of how do you improve your landing pages, how do you improve your websites, how should you be thinking broader about your search terms and your search campaigns and how you're driving traffic and interacting with consumers online. The future of Compete, I think, is very much tied to our position within Kantar WPP. I think we're really excited about the partnerships that we have within Kantar and the WPP family. There's so much opportunity there, so many opportunities for us to start to connect all of this great data and all these minds and all these insights and strategies and start to really meld them into a single focused drive going forward. In terms of Compete's role, I see us really as the sort of center of all of that within this sort of family of WPP companies. I think we're starting to adopt a role of using our digital intelligence across to connect all these different companies and all these different agencies within Kantar and also outside of Kantar and the WPP broader family. So I see us very much staying on that track and sort of integrating ourselves within those companies. It's going to be interesting to see how some things play out in terms of, Facebook, Twitter, these kinds of things that have become very, very popular from both from a media perspective, an advertising perspective, as well as just general consumers, right? So some interesting things are going to start to gel and materialize over the next couple of years in terms of those things. Facebook has a challenge to deal with of they are about one-to-one connections within the Facebook universe, and sort of they're going to need to figure out how do you really monetize that one-to-one connection. I think Twitter has another challenge where they have to figure out the one-to-many. How do you monetize that one-to-many connection, and what's their role going to be going forward? I think in terms of that the online space, those two things will be very much a center point of the online media space moving forward. They're not going to go away. It'll be very interesting to see what they're going to do at this point. Both of those entities have so much momentum at this point that they're here to stay. But so they'll be a pretty big part of our future, and sort of social media in general being just I think we'll talk probably less about social media because it will just be part of what we do.